What situations have you been in when you said you find yourself in the center of attention?
I wouldn't say center of attention as much as I generally surround myself with people that are fairly in your face and fairly outgoing. So when I'm with that group of people, I just get caught up with that energy, and so it's not really being noticed, or it's just being in the right place at the right time.
Can you see yourself living that kind of lifestyle in 20, 30 years?
Absolutely not. No, it's no doubt it is quite hard on things, but it's also choices and how. I mean, it could be really, really hard on you if you let it be. If you're smart about it, it's not so bad. But no, I will not be living this lifestyle in 20 years from now.
Oh, this is the setup. That was a setup. What is the follow-up question? I will not be living that lifestyle in 10 or 15 years. What's the question? Obvious, yes.
What do you see yourself doing in 10 or 15 years?
Going to bed earlier. Yeah, just spending more time doing the stuff I like riding bikes, and who knows? Maybe I'll be married with a family. I don't know, but the last thing anybody needs is to be down at a club when you're 40 years old or 50 years old. No one needs to see that.
How did you get into owning a club and owning your pub?
Two different stories. Two different groups of people as well. We the nightclub. I ran a pub in town. I ran Mod Hunters for the last kind of 5 years, and about 2 years ago, a group of friends and I had an opportunity to get a club and start it up. And so we ran with it, and everything worked out great. Renoed it. Basically, the club had gone under, so we came in, we renoed it, we made it happen. It's really, really busy. One of the better clubs in town right now, I guess, arguably. But so that was kind of an initiative that I followed on from friends that had really started it up. And then the pub was something that I put together. It's a group of my friends, and we bought and purchased the whole building, which has got 10 apartments upstairs. So it is kind of neat how things all intertwine. And I've met a lot of these people through the pubs and through the club that turn out to be awesome business connections.
How do you stay successful without being pulled into that party scene?
I mean, there's no doubt that I am involved a bit in the party scene, and you kind of have to be. It's the nature of the game. People come down to see you on a Friday night at the club, and they want to have a good time, and you got to be on that same level.
Yeah.
And you got to, sometimes it's an act, sometimes it's quite genuine, because you're having a good time and you're there with all your friends. But it is a balance, and you can't go crazy every night, because it really takes its toll pretty quick.
How has being in the business that you're in affected your love life?
Funny you asked that. I've just, you meet a lot of people, and you're in it. I mean, you're out all the time, and there's a lot of girls and stuff around for sure, but and it has destroyed relationships I've had. Right now, I'm dating this girl who knows what it's like and can kind of understand it a little bit. That I'm always out there and there's always going to be stuff going on, and it is a big understanding from her end. And it does. I know in my industry, a lot of relationships get absolutely shredded from the working at a club and stuff like that.
How do you not get overwhelmed with so much going on all the time?
Riding my bike is a massive release for me, which is great. I've recently got into yoga, which has helped a lot. Kind of weird, but I absolutely love it. And napping makes a huge difference. I can't talk it up enough. But a lot of my friends make fun of me for it. But 10 or 15 minutes just clears my head completely, and I start from square one.
We have a great question right here.
When things aren't always working out for you, what do you do to keep yourself thinking positively?
There's always stuff that goes wrong, but I figure I just always, there's always a solution to every problem, and you just have to be really focused on the solution, not the problem. And things have a really, really funny way of working out almost every time. If you focus too much on the problem just gets worse and bigger and more kind of ominous, and you're never gonna figure it out. So
How do you keep yourself positive in a negative situation?
just that, just focus on the end solution, what you know you need to get done, and staying up on things. It's good to be, if you're happy and go lucky and you're surrounding yourself with kind of happy people, it's really not that tough.
Has your business ever ruined any of your friendships since you own like companies with your friends?
One thing that has happened is I've hired staff that are some of my best friends. I certainly have friends that will never work for me again. But I've become very good at separating the friendship business line. To me, it doesn't matter if it's a business. If it's business, it's business, and if it's friendship stuff, it's friendship stuff. So I can draw the line quite clearly. I've got business partners that do have a tough time with that. They see me as their friend, also the guy who's running their business, and sometimes it's tough for them to come to me. But I just got to reassure them that business is business. We got to do what we got to do. So let's put everything on the table. So I haven't really had any lost friendships over the whole deal.
What are you looking for when you're hiring somebody?
It's funny, for a lot of it, I'll sit down with someone, kind of figure out what they want, introduce myself, and just let them talk. Kind of depends on the job a little bit, but for a waitress, for example, I need to know that this person can talk when it's fairly awkward and just kind of yabber on and be friendly and polite. So I just kind of sit back and ask them a bunch of random questions, and I have fun with it. But sometimes they don't. But you can tell right away whether someone's really comfortable talking about nothing to anyone, which is something I look for.
You said that you hire hundreds of people. Does that mean that you fire hundreds of people?
Yeah.
To keep it going?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Why?
Why? Lots of different reasons. Fire people for stealing. Fire people for having terrible people skills. Hire people for, fire people for as simple as never smiling. Showing up late, doing whatever. Everybody's got a job to do. I hire them to do that specific job, and if they can't do it to the level that I need to see, they got to go. And that's I give everybody a chance. I kind of let them, kind of for lack of a better term, they kind of hang themselves, and I just say, listen, this is what I want, this is what I need. They slip up, just a reminder, this is what I want, this is what I need, and then if they continue to not be able to make it happen, then they know they're gone, and it's kind of a 3-step process. But it definitely gets easier, but it's never easy.
Well, we have a good question right here.
I just was wondering, you said that you've balanced out like having to work at the pub and having to work at the nightclub. And do you find like yourself, like what do you do when you get overwhelmed with a lot of like the situations you face in both of those jobs?
They're both similar, and I've been in this industry for a while now, and a lot of the problems kind of intertwine. Mostly it's staffing is always an issue. Sometimes at the pub there's there's specific things that go wrong, like we had a hot water tank explode. Those kind of stresses you can't plan for, and you just got to deal with at the time. So if one of those has to, the pub's my priority. So if something happens at the pub, I just kind of get someone to cover my shift at the club or whatever. It's a give and take. So if I need more time at one business, I'll spend it on that, and vice versa.
You said the pub is your priority.
Pub is my number one priority.
Why
Yeah.
is that?
I'm the general manager. I put the group together. I signed on that it would be my number one thing. The pub's open every day, 11 to midnight, and the club's open essentially, kind of depending on the time of year, 12 to 16 hours a week. So, and of that 12 to 16 hours, we're really only kind of really busy, kind of 3 hours a night. So, the pub has way more responsibility and way more to do. And we have a guy who kind of does run the club. Something I feel fairly strongly about. I never really did that well in high school. I got kind of B's, C plus B's. But one thing I did take away from high school is that I learned how to deal with people. It was the start of it. My network of friends that I had then, I still have now. To me, high school is all about just an excuse to learn partially how to do the books, but to a large extent how to deal with people, how to interact with people, how to deal with people you like, people you don't like, the whole deal. That was the big thing I got out of high school.